this time, I'd like to recognize Congressman Lynch, who would like to speak to our group, and I'll let you come right up here.
Good evening. It's wonderful to be with you. I want to thank Howard. I want to thank our moderator, Howard Hanson, for his kindness and again allowing me to briefly address town meeting on some issues before us in Congress, but that affect the town of Stoughton directly. Normally I'm in Washington, D.C. on Monday nights, but occasionally they let us out on probation, and I'm able to join you, and it is an honor to be with you and an honor to represent you in Washington, D.C. in the United States Congress. There are a number of issues that are demanding the attention of Congress in these recent weeks. As has Massachusetts, Washington has been intensely occupied with the crisis in opioid and heroin abuse. And we are now debating a number of laws in Congress that would provide additional funding. As you may know, your local representatives here, Luke Kafka and Bill Galvin, and Governor Baker, did pass a very effective, I think one of the most effective bills on substance abuse and opioid control, trying to stop the flow of opioids in Massachusetts. That bill is being considered in a federal version to try to limit the number of doctors and the number of prescriptions that are out there for opioid abuse. So again, Massachusetts is a leader in this issue, and we have probably a half a dozen bills that are being considered to provide resources really to states and municipalities, towns, to try to address that problem. And so I feel pretty confident. It's a bipartisan issue. It affects every state, every major city, every town in America today. So it's not going to be held up by bipartisan bickering. And I think it'll provide some assistance to our first responders as well as to health advocates as well to try to reduce that scourge. Recently, I'm not sure if you're aware, we've had a problem with returning Afghanistan and Iraq veterans coming back after repeated deployments. Many of these young men and women have done, I was in Kandahar recently with a group of Marines, and I typically, I asked them how many are here on their first tour of duties. This is a group of about 40, a rifle company. And a few hands went up when I asked how many were on the first tour of duty, and then a few more when I asked how many on your second tour of duty. A bunch of hands went up on the third tour. I got all the way up to 7 tours of duty before I ran out of Marines. So we've got all these young men and women who are doing repeated tours of duty, and ironically, the way this works is that now about 43,000 of these veterans last year went to work for the federal government. And many of those at the Post Office, Defense Department, State Department, they are not allowed medical leave to go for their appointments when they come home. That 1 year that they come back is the most critical year, and we've had elevated incidents of our veterans coming back and committing suicide. We've got we've got an elevated level of suicide among active military as well, and yet they were being prevented from seeing their docs because they didn't have paid medical leave after they went to work for the federal government. So I drafted a bill that basically gave them 100. Now, at the end of 1 year, they do have the ability to take medical leave, but there's a gap year there. So basically what I did, I drafted a bill called the Wounded Warrior Medical Leave Act, and got a bunch of Republicans to come on board. They supported it. Jason Chaffetz from Utah, a good pal of mine, a Republican, and eventually we got this passed recently, and the President signed it into law. So now that our returning sons and daughters who have those multiple tours of duty and need medical attention are now able to go and get their appointments at the VA or at their own private doctors and not have to worry about missing work or giving up a day's pay in order to go to their doctor's appointment. Thank you. Another issue that I wrote up another bill. We have a way of recognizing our missing in action and POWs by establishing a chair. It's a memorial, and we've done a number of these across our district and across Massachusetts. And yet in Congress, there was no POW MIA memorial within the Capitol. And so I was able to, again, with a lot of Republicans on board, a lot of Democrats as well, we finally got a bill passed. The President signed it a couple of weeks ago to actually establish a memorial within the Capitol to remind members of Congress about the 83,000 missing in action and POWs that have not returned to the United States after the Korean War, Second World War, Vietnam War, to remember that those families are still out there and that our sons and daughters are still out there, to remind them of their plight. And as I say, the President signed that into office a couple of weeks ago. The last thing, well, not the last thing, but the final piece of legislation I'm going to mention here tonight is, I don't know if you're familiar with the case of Glenn Doherty. Glenn Doherty is a Massachusetts Navy SEAL. He lost his life on the roof of the CIA station in Benghazi, Libya, back in 2012. And, I'm sorry, 2014. So, because he was a CIA contractor, but did not have a wife or a child, his family was denied the death benefits when he was killed. Now, all the other people were paid benefits because they had a living spouse and or living children. Glenn, who had paid $7,000 in premiums to cover himself, and he had named his family as the beneficiary, his family was denied benefits. So it's taken me 3 years, drafted a bill called the Glenn Doherty Contractor Fairness Act, and just 2 weeks ago, the CIA, that was his employer, they agreed to abide by the terms of my legislation. And again, I don't want to take all the credit. It was my bill, but I had a lot of support from Republicans and Democrats in Congress. That's how I roll. I try to do things with my colleagues across the aisle to get things done. It's amazing when you work together what you can accomplish. So, as I said, about 2 weeks ago, they called me, called Barbara Doherty, Glenn's mother, and agreed to grant the family the death benefits that they rightfully should have received from the very beginning. So that was a good day for the Doherty family, and a good day for recognizing his service as well. In closing, very quickly, I had an opportunity to go down and see Stoughton Little League's opening game after, I think we were rained out a couple of weeks, but I want to thank David Spanky Souza and Bob O'Regan, who took me down there and guided me through all that without injury. And I want to, and also we have a couple of folks that have served on the Finance Committee here in Stoughton for many years, and they are now retiring. Barbara Anzavino and Steve Mitchell, and I know Steve's not doing well health-wise, so he's not here tonight, but, you know, this is really where democracy happens. Town meeting, it doesn't get any more democratic than this. And, you know, I feel badly when some of my towns go away from town meeting and go to a town council or something like that where we don't have everybody getting together. And I think that New England town meeting is the very origins of our democracy, and I absolutely love it. But I want to thank Barbara Anzavino and Steve Mitchell for their service on the Finance Committee. And thank you. And lastly, this is really lastly, one of the great things I get to do as a United States Congressman is to nominate young people to our military academies. And we have Academy Day, and our district and the town of Stoughton, we overperform in terms of the number of young people. And you really have to be excellent. You have to be very special to be accepted into the academy. And Stoughton, the town of Stoughton has had a long and strong history. But I want to recognize a couple of the young people who are there right now, or just recently graduated. Jeffrey Johnston from 18 Erica Drive, Stoughton, Massachusetts. His parents are Ken and Sherry Ann. He's a Stoughton High School kid, and it gives me great pride to say that. He is a graduate now. He just recently graduated the United States Military Academy at West Point, class of 2015. And also, I want to recognize Michaela Sakich, 72 Bassick Circle, Stoughton, Mass. Her parents are Linda McNally and Darrell Sakich. She's a Cardinal Spellman High School graduate, and she is part of the United States Naval Academy class of 2017. So you have every right to be proud of them. In closing, I just want to say what a tremendous honor it is for me to represent the town of Stoughton in Washington, D.C. It is an honor every single day, and I try hard each day to live up to your highest expectations. So God bless the town of Stoughton, and God bless these United States of America. Thank you.